Hello everyone. So today we will discuss a very important phenomena, that is menstrual cycle. This is a series of events occurring regularly in primates every 26 to 30 days throughout the life during childbearing period of about 36 years. The cycle consists of a series of changes that take place periodically in the ovaries and uterine wall, stimulated by changes in the blood concentrations of hormones. The duration of cycle averages 28 days. It may be as short as 20 days or as long as 45 days even in completely normal women. It is an interplay between the anterior pituitary hormones, that is gonadotrophins, and the female sex hormone, that is estrogen and progesterone. There are two main significant results of the female menstrual cycle. First, development of single follicles so that it can release the secondary oocyte ovum each month so that only a single fetus can begin to grow at a time. Second, every month the uterine endometrium is prepared for the implantation of the fertilized ovum in case fertilization occurs. The menstrual cycle is divided into the following 4 phases. First, menstrual phase. Second, follicular or proliferative phase. Third, ovulatory phase. Fourth, luteal or secretory phase. Menstrual phase, day 1 to day 5. When there is no fertilization and low level of progesterone, the blood vessel of the endometrium constructs, cutting off blood flow to the uterine lining, as a result of which the cells of the uterine endometrium lining start to die and the lining slots off and causes bleeding. This phase usually lasts from 3 to 5 days, and during this time the ovaries begin with a follicular phase. Menses equals to liquid blood, endometrium lining, mucus, unfertilized ovum, that is secondary oocyte. The blood that is released during menstrual phase is remained in the liquid form due to the enzyme known as plasmin fibrinolysin, which prevents formation of blood clots. Follicular phase or proliferative phase lasts from day 6 till day 14. During this phase of menstrual cycle, 3 to 30 follicles, each containing one ovum, begin to grow inside the ovary under the hormone luteinizing hormone LH and FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone, with usually one reaching maturity while the other breaking down. Hence it is known as follicular phase. And in the uterus, the endometrium starts to develop or proliferate under the hormone estrogen. Hence it is also known as proliferative phase. Stages of development of follicle inside the ovary. First, primordial follicle. Stromal or follicular cells, which are simple squamous in nature, surround the primary oocyte. Second, primary follicle. The primary oocyte are then surrounded by the cuboidal, stromal or follicular cells that are formed during fetal life before birth by 22 weeks of gestation period. They are formed maximum in number in each ovary, approximately 7 million. Then their number keeps on decreasing at birth, approximately 3 million left in each ovary. Furthermore, at puberty, only 60 to 80,000 left in each ovary. This is known as follicular atresia. No new primary follicles are added after birth. Third, secondary follicle. After puberty, many primary follicles are converted into secondary follicles, but only one of them continue to develop, which has a large number of LH receptors. Rest all regresses. That one developing follicle is known as dominant follicle. In secondary follicle, the primary oocyte is surrounded by the multiple layer of granulosa cells and a fibrous layer surrounds the secondary follicle known as theca layer. Fourth, tertiary follicle. Now, the dominant secondary follicle changes into tertiary follicle, and during this, following important events occur. A. Primary oocyte completes meiosis first and converts into secondary oocyte, releasing first polar body. Secondary oocyte secretes a non-cellular glycoprotein layer surrounding it known as zona pellucida. Third, granulosa cells secrete antral fluid, which gets filled in antrum. Hence, tertiary follicle is characterized by fluid-filled cavity known as antrum. Fourth, theca layer is secondary follicle differentiate into theca interna and theca externa in tertiary follicle. Theca interna layer, which is glandular in nature, has LH receptors, and when luteinizing hormone acts on theca interna layer, it produces androgen hormone, and this androgen hormone is now ready to send to the granulosa cell, which has aromatase enzyme which converts the androgen hormone into the estrogen. Hence, granulosa cells along with theca interna layer produces estrogen hormone. Graafian follicle. It is the most ripened and developed follicular stage formed in ovary from tertiary follicle. It was discovered by R.D. Graff scientist. The structures available in Graafian follicle are theca externa, theca interna, basement membrane, antrum, that is fluid-filled cavity, zona pellucida, cumulus ophorus, also known as granulosa cell, nucleus, primary oocyte, and corona radiata. Ovulatory phase, starting from day 14. The increasing level of estrogen hormone causes LH surge, in which high amount of LH hormone causes rupturing of Graafian follicle, and as a result of which the secondary oocyte is released from the ovary into the lumen of fallopian tube. Ovulatory phase occurs for 14 days period to the luteal or secretory phase. Day of ovulation equals to menstrual cycle days minus 14. Suppose a female has a menstrual cycle of 32 days. Then, at what day it is possible that ovulation occurs? Option A, day 20. Option B, day 18. Option C, day 16. Option D, day 14. Luteal or secretory phase, day 15 to 28. The series is from ovulation to the start of next menses. This phase in every female is of fixed duration, that is for 14 days. During this phase, the corpus luteum secretes a large amount of progesterone to very little amount of estrogen and relaxin hormone. Hence, this is known as luteal phase. Under the effect of hormone progesterone on the endometrial glands and changes their shape from tubular to corkscrew shape, and the start producing uterine milk which nourishes the developing embryo if fertilization occurs. Hence, this phase is also known as secretory phase. Let's see the description of menstrual cycle. Events occurring in ovary. Let's consider a female having menstrual cycle of 28 days. The first hormone to be appear is FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, from anterior pituitary, and this hormone is responsible for the development of the primordial follicle into primary follicle, followed by other stages of follicular development, that is follicular phase. So I hope you have been enjoying the lecture. Let's see further. At low levels of estrogen, the gonadotrophins, that is LH and FSH, undergoes negative feedback. Before this, what happens is, after few days, the secondary hormone to appear in female menstrual cycle is LH. LH converts normal granulosa cells into the secretory lutein cells, which secrete enteral fluid, and soon in the tertiary follicle antrum, a fluid-filled cavity appears, and this enteral fluid contains a very important hormone known as estrogen, which starts releasing into the female body around day 6 of the menstrual cycle. At low levels of estrogen, the gonadotrophins, that is LH and FSH, undergo negative feedback. Hence, their level keeps on decreasing, but at a high level of estrogen released by developing follicles. The gonadotrophins, that is LH and FSH, undergo positive feedback, and their level of female body keeps on increasing. Particularly LH level increases. This is known as LH surge, and on day 14 of the menstrual cycle, this LH surge causes rupture of Graafian follicle, as a result of which ovulation occurs and secondary oocyte is released from ovary, which is captured by the fimbriae of the follicle, fimbriae of the fallopian tube, ovulatory phase. Further, the left over part of the Graafian follicle, which is now known as corpus luteum, remains in the ovary, which start secreting large amount of progesterone and very little amount of estrogen and relaxin hormone. This corpus luteum is formed by the action of hormone LH, and LH is also required to maintain it, but after ovulation, that is after 14 days, the level of progesterone is very high. Hence, the gonadotrophins undergo negative feedback, and their level inside the female body remains low, which prevent development of new follicle. If fertilization does not occur, then corpus luteum starts regressing, and after day 21, it gradually converted into corpus albicans, as a result of which progesterone level decreases in the female body, and this progesterone is very much essential for the maintenance of endometrium of uterus. So, withdrawal of progesterone in no fertilization condition causes shedding of endometrium, and this endometrium along with mucus and secondary oocyte is released from the female body. This is known as menstruation, which lasts around 3 to 5 days, that is menstrual phase. Now let's see events occurring in uterus. After 3 to 5 days of menstrual phase, under the hormone of estrogen, the endometrium layer again starts to develop and flourish. The glands are tubular shaped at this stage, that is proliferative phase. After ovulation, the corpus luteum secretes a large amount of progesterone, which converts the tubular gland of endometrium into corkscrew shaped, and progesterone is very much essential for the maintenance of endometrium layer. This corkscrew shaped glands of endometrium secrete uterine milk, which nourishes the developing embryo till its implantation, that is secretory phase. In the absence of fertilization, progesterone level keeps on decreasing, resulting into shedding of endometrium and causes menses. Hey guys, thanks for listening.